In this video, I continue our discussion on the plan, protect, and response cycle of the threat environment, specifically focusing on host hardening. To begin, we need to understand what is a host. A host is essentially anything with an IP address, and this includes a firewall, a computer, a desktop, a server, a router, a tablet, a phone, a switch, etc. So before we dive more into this discussion of host hardening, let's have you run an exercise to see what hosts you can find and what information you can find out about these hosts. So try this in Kali Linux, pause this video, and then come back for a discussion. All right, welcome back. So I'm going to go ahead and open up nmap. And to do this, I either hit the Windows key or Mac key and type nmap and open it up. This opens up a terminal window, as you can see here. Alternatively, I could just click on the terminal and it would do the exact same thing. So in order for us to continue with this activity, I need to get the IP address of my home machine instead of the virtual machine. And if you're on a Windows PC, it's ipconfig. If you're on a Mac, it is ifconfig. So I'll go ahead and run this. And you'll see that my IP address is 192.168.86.30. So I'm going to go ahead and use this IP address. So now that I have the IP address of my home machine, I'm going to run sudo nmap-sl 192.168.86, which was the beginning of my IP address, and then 0.0, which I'm going to use to overwrite the last number of my IP address. And then we're going to use /24. This is going to run a scan after I type in my password. And it's going to show me which devices were discovered. So it found my Pixel 8a device. And as I scroll up to all these others, we can see that I have a Nest Wi-Fi access point, my studio laptop, which was that IP address that we talked about previously, and then a few other devices that are on my local area network. So we can do a ping scan as well by changing this from -SL to -SN. And this gives me a report of all 256 IP addresses within that range, starting with 192.168.86. So now I want you to scan a website, and we're going to either scan webscantest.com or 0.webappsecurity.com. So to do that, I'm going to run a sudo nmap scan, and then I'm going to do s-s of our website that we're going to scan, which is webscantest.com. And you'll notice here by scanning this, we can see that HTTP and HTTPS are up, as well as black ice. We can also do this for 0.webappsecurity.com. And you'll see here that they have HTTP as well as HTTPS running, as well as a HTTP proxy. If I want to step it up a notch, I can do more of an intense scan by changing the second S to a capital V. This one's going to take a little bit longer to run because it's doing an intense scan. So this scan gives you the actual versions that are currently being run, which is a problem if a hacker was to do the scan and notice that you are not running an updated version. They would be able to exploit some of the vulnerabilities that are found on previous versions. So now we can do an operating system scan. So I'm going to do sudo nmap-o, and then let's go ahead and use webscantest.com. And you'll notice here that it says the operating system that they're guessing is Oracle VirtualBox. And that's because I'm running this inside of Oracle VirtualBox, and so I can't truly figure this out. However, if you were to download and install nmap on your own personal device instead of in Kali Linux, you would be able to see the actual operating system of some of these sites. So the last scan that we're going to run is an aggressive scan, and that's going to be using sudo nmap. And then we'll do the A flag, and this time we'll do 0webappsecurity.com. And this one's going to take a while because it's going to combine many of the other scans that we've already shown you. So now that the scan has finished, you notice a few things. It scans the port, and then it gives us additional information about that port, such as what risk might be associated with this. Also, here's another port, 443. It gives us the information about the certificate showing that it's no longer valid. You'll see port 8080 is open, saying that it's using Apache. It also does the scanning of the operating system, as you can see right here, but it's not returning the right one because I'm using my virtual machine. That's why it's unable to find the exact OS match of this site. So this is helpful if you're trying to figure out what hosts are there, what potential vulnerabilities exist on certain ports, if things need to be updated as you're trying to harden your own personal systems. Thanks for watching my video. Feel free to click the links here to watch the next video of the playlist, continue to the next playlist, or subscribe.